Hello, hopefuls. We are back. And it's our second live of the day. I am Hope. Hope is speaking. And I am inspired to share how to rebuild when life crumbles. And also, I'm always here to share a great story because, as you know, I've lived a colorful life. This is why I love my colorful earrings and my colorful ensembles, as well as colorful hair. Because why just keep regular colored hair if you can dye it? Hi, Dr. Dan. Good to see you. So, yes, how to rebuild when what you think is life has crumbled. And Counselor Cat Mom, one of my favorite hopefuls. Happy to see you. You jumped into this live. So great to see you. And as everyone is coming in, yes, I do have the strawberry earrings on, which means this message is something special. And why not? Why not everything be special? And I also have peso sitting in my lap to aid me for the message today. There you go for some hope inspiration. That's what I'm here for, because as I'm speaking to everyone, I'm speaking to myself. And actually, if I have peso in my lap, which is the dog, I guess I have money sitting in my lap. That's already a message in itself. So, in my live earlier today, it was a vulnerable live. It was beautiful because one of the hopefuls had received some news of a transition, of a passing of a family member, and how that affects us, and how life changes so quickly. And at times we have to allow ourselves, thank you for liking the live, to process that. And yeah. What's up, Joy for Life? I'm having a fantastic day and I'm continuing on because that's the point of it. Listen, I'm in a building season right now. I am rebuilding. I am building myself. I am building myself as a speaker. I am rebuilding my life. And there's a beauty in that. And there's a beauty in knowing that something new is being built. Continue to like and share the live because, you know, this is like the best live on TikTok. This is why I got this in the background. Okay? So, even to share that, to know that I'm building block by block, brick by brick, laying the foundation down. And with that comes frustration. And I know of a saying that says, Lord, I ain't where I want to be. I ain't where I used to be, but I ain't where I want to be. I ain't something, but I'm surely not where I used to be. And the beauty in that rebuild, that continuously telling yourself like I'm doing it for me. I'm building something for me. Whatever was before is no longer there, and I'm going to continue. I have the drive within myself. I have the focus. And I'm doing it bit by bit. Thank you, Tammy. It's good to see you in the live. No cooking today. I was feeling to talk. So here I am. And what that looks like. What that looks like when you are frustrated when you're rebuilding. What that looks like when you're frustrated because you're not actually in that space yet. What it looks like when maybe in your thoughts, everyone's looking at you like, what is this person doing? And you may be looking at yourself. What's up, Liz Worth? Like, what am I doing? And I'll share this with you. I have those thoughts too, where I say, what am I doing? what is this? Why do I think with my ambitions, with this drive, that I can still make this a reality for me? Why me? Why would I leave everything that was familiar and that was secure for something new? Why do I constantly challenge myself? Why am I putting myself in these spaces where I gotta rebuild? It's because it's for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Idris. I love that. And it is for you. It is for you to drive to make something bigger. It is for you to continue to build, to leave something where others will say, whoa, I don't know how this person keeps getting exactly what they want. But there's something about this person that is unstoppable. There's something about this person, all 164 people in this live. I know you have felt this before. Just drop any type of emoji of how you feel now in this moment or how you have felt when you're rebuilding, because I know it's frustrating when you're not where you want to be. If you're not in the home you want to be in, if you're no longer driving the car you want to drive, if you no longer have that revenue coming in that you used to, but you said, I'm leaving it because something new is for me. And how that sheer inspiration of there's something else for me and I don't know what it is. And maybe I do know what it is. And I don't know how it's going to come, but I do know it's going to come. And I'm going to continue. And what that looks like. And what that feels like. I had someone reach out to me, another fellow fantastic speaker, Tracy Baker, who is very well known in the Toastmasters organization. And, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, listen, you can fake it till you make it. Thank you, the strawberry earrings. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Sharon. That compliment means a lot to me because, yeah, I'm strong like bull. I do have this confidence down because I've lived through some colorful situations, as most of you know. And because of that resilience, I just keep showing up. I just keep making life up as I go along. Whether I actually believe it or not, I just keep going till that belief is built in me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. So, when this friend reached out to me, another pivotal speaker, when this gentleman speaks, he shakes the room. Now, I know I do too. And I surround myself with other speakers that inspire me. And when he called, I was in a moment of just thinking about what's next, and seeing that name inspired me. Said, wow, someone was actually feeling my energy and they decided to pick up the phone. Now, anyone who's in my lives, you know I don't pick up everyone's call. And thank you for liking and sharing the live. Let's get up to a minimum of 10,000, because what is life without 10,000 likes? So when I picked up the phone, he said, hope, hope, hope. And it was a FaceTime call. He said, wow. Even just seeing you, I can see the confidence. I can see the inspiration just when you pick up the phone. And I said, you know what you're saying. And this speaker went on to tell me about the Toastmasters International Convention. Now, I have been a part of several Toastmasters clubs. That's where I honed my speaking abilities and also my own voice as a speaker. I was president of my club in Hawaii, as well as a mentor for other speakers. And every year, all of the Toastmasters from around the world meet to engage, to congratulate, to see who are these people I've been speaking to on the screen over the past 52 weeks of the year. And this year, this convention was held in the Bahamas. And unfortunately for them, I was not a part. And he said, Hope, everyone was asking, is Hope Williams here? Is Hope here? Where is Hope? I thought we were going to see Hope. And they didn't. Because I was steadily doing other projects. However, the fact that others were inquiring about me, thank you, Baki, me too, allowed me to say, you're on the right path. So this speaker went on to continue and said, well, I'm tied with you, Hope, because the next question after a Toastmaster asks, where's Hope? They ask, where is Tracy? Thank you, Stephen. I am shining and I'll continue to shine. That's what Beyonce said. That's why I sit out in the sun and that's why I show up every day. I'm not going to be in front of you if I ain't shining, okay? We got to shine. We got to look good. One half is delivering the words, but also delivering a message from this package. Man, I'll hook you in a second, won't I? So, as Tracy was explaining that all the Toastmasters were saying, where is Hope? Where is Hope? I thought I was going to see Hope. Where is Hope? Little did they know, I am definitely in that beast mode right now. I'm in quiet, just determination mode. So the next time I am seen, it's because it's a new goal has been reached. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate your gifts. Why wait? Why no? And there is a science behind all of this madness. If you don't see me, and I've shared with most of my hopefuls, which are the people that love and support me, and all 160 people in the live, you're probably a hopeful if you are here, that if I ever go quiet and you don't see me, it's because something big is coming. I got to work on me. I got to work on it. And I prefer to put my head down and just work. Just get it done. I'm not trying to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just doing what I'm going to do. Okay? That's how we do it. So, as me and this speaker continued to have a conversation, he had shared that, not only were people asking about you, they were sharing their stories about you. Yes, thank you, Stephen242. That's a pivotal key. It will all prosper. And okay, let me pause for that. Tips for an actively engaged Black father on raising our daughters: continue to be actively engaged. And I will just let me take off the color element, because I am a daddy's girl. You always hear me speak about my father. My father's just engaged. He just sees me as a person. He didn't say, you are a girl, you can do this. He saw me as the spirit that I am, the soul that I am, the gifts that I have, and he encouraged it. And he allowed it to be incubated, and he allowed a space of protection, and he allowed me to truly be me. Here's a side note. This was last year. I asked my father, I said, Dad, what was your legacy for your daughters? Because I'm one of 5 girls. And my father said, it has been, thank you, Willow, and has always been that my daughters find exactly what they want to do and do it to the fullest in how they want to do it. Once again, I asked my father, what is your legacy for your daughters? He said it has been and will always be that every single one of my daughters finds something that they excel at, find something that they love to do, and do it to the fullest in their own ability. Yes, my dad is proud every day. I have a sister who's a sommelier. You can go to her website, Let's Talk Wine NYC. My sister has been in business about 12 years, and she has a full service wine company where she does wine education. She teaches wine. She has a staff where she'll bring the wine in and pair it with chocolate or cheese or foods or fruits and explain to you the process of how wine is made. And that to me is a wino. But however, if you can profit from it, I love you for it. And that's my sister Faith, who is currently in Italy. I've never said, Jonathan, if I'm single or not. And furthermore, I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is relevant when I'm speaking of all sorts of things. So there's that. My next sister is in. That's okay. It's just, I am going to call you in, not call you out. Often that is asked, and there's so many other layers of myself, and there's so many things that I share and talk about and inspire people that to just rely on that question alone is somewhat limiting. It's limiting. And all of the gentlemen that have or are in my life would say Hope is a fabulous individual. And they would probably also say her direct focus is on her goals. How about that? Moving right along. My other sister is in the legal field. Now, my sister has been in corrections and also wants to show another side of that side of the law. She's been working in this industry for about, I understand this is what, and it's all love. However, that's why I said I'm calling you in and not calling you out. It's all love. Being able to aid other people who are in that side of corrections or in any facility that takes away your freedom, and showing how these systems can be improved. So that sister now is currently finishing something to get her law degree. And I'm just telling you about my other sisters so you'll know what I'm surrounded with. And it'll give you a little insight to the seeds that my parents planted within us. My other sister works for the Department of Treasury and has her master's and is going on to open group homes. She has a love for aiding in elderly and really inspiring me on how the caregiving process can be improved. Yes. Very loving, very funny, and I love them from afar. And my final sister is a math whiz. She always has been a math and a engineering whiz. When I was younger, she actually worked at NASA. And now she does more with numbers in a corporate setting. And all of these women have always surrounded me. So I share this with you to share that I have this system around me. And it is family. So is it always roses and ice cream all the time? No. But the beauty of it is I accept them for who they are in that moment. I'm proud of every single one of my sisters. I love every single one of my sisters. And when I shared about me gracing the TED stage, every one of my sisters immediately picked up the phone because no one knew. This wasn't something that I had shared, that I had even been working towards. And they all said, wow, Hope, not only are we proud, we bought our tickets and we can't wait to be there. And I'm sharing this again because this is always what surrounds me. This is what surrounds me. My mother didn't even know the reach that the TED stage had. And I said, Mom, look, this is the TED YouTube channel with 33 million subscribers. I'm going to be on this platform. She said, wow. And I see the pride when all of these individuals say, that's my sister, that's my daughter. That keeps me going. That keeps me going. I make this look easy. That's the point. However, you would never know what's transpiring in the background when I'm not speaking, when I'm not on TikTok sharing these things. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's an end goal. There's an end goal, and I'm always inspired by the people that surround me, by the friends that say, do you need a hand? I'm here to help you out. By the friends that say, Hope, I don't know how, but you are always just doing it. By even the people that have reached out that I haven't spoken to in years, and I don't know how they found out, but they said, listen, Hope, I just got to say congratulations, and wow, look at you. And on a funny note, I had a cousin of mine who reached out and said, you are showing the beauty of the family. I said, I sure am, on the other side of crazy, because we all have a lot of crazy in our family. We all have a lot of crazy. And I said, I'm on the other side of crazy. Now, if you come at me some type of way, I may have to bring out that crazy side, but I usually put it on mute. That's usually reserved for those times when it really needs to come out. But to be able to have anyone in my family, younger or older, say, wow, that's my auntie, or that's my sister, or that's my daughter, or that's someone I know. That's why I just continue. When things feel uncertain to me, when I feel like, why am I still aspiring for this? That's why. That's why. And to have that tunnel vision when things may not look like you want them to look like in this very moment. You got to keep going. You got to keep aspiring for something more. You got to keep saying, you know what, I am doing this. I'm past the I can do it. I'm in the I am doing it in every moment. With every word, every time I come on live, every time I see Dr. Dan or Counselor Cat Mom or Nikki Styled Me or Mag, one of my moderators, every time I'm seeing it's happening. It's happening. So when you're rebuilding, when life crumbles, just know you are doing it. It's small, incremental, daily changes that are building it. And be reminded of that. You don't just see it. At times we have this thought that it just happens in 5 minutes and we see it and then it's all there. It's not. It's came with tears. It's came with things falling away. It's came with me having to grow into a new space and be vulnerable and accept help and say, you know what? I'm still going. It doesn't matter what happens. What matters is I still get up knowing that I'm working towards it. Knowing that there's something bigger than me in front of me. Knowing that it's that daily, diligent, concentrated effort that no one sees. And I shared in my live, I believe this was 2 days ago, when my niece, who's a dancer and worked on a project for 10 weeks with rehearsals and long nights and long days. And she said, I wish more people would have seen me. And I said, get used to that. Get used to that. Most of your wins are only going to be seen by you. But when you recognize every day is the win, you can congratulate yourself. Thank you, the money God. You can congratulate yourself because, I'm not really focused on who sees me. I'm focused on recognizing that every day I'm just determined to do it. even if there's a slump in me where I question the path that I'm on. I'll allow it for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I say, hey, Hope, come on. Come on, we got to go. Dr. Dan is watching. Counselor Cat Mama's waiting for the message. People are waiting. We got to keep going. I'm not going to sit and stew in that because that doesn't develop anything that is beneficial for me. I got to keep going. And I'm determined to keep going regardless of what happens. I'm going. You don't even have time to talk to me because I'm on my way somewhere. And unless you're going with me, I'm already, come on, I got to go. I'm drinking some water and then I got to go. I'm writing down my ideas. I got to go. I'm sending this email. I got to go. I got to get on live. I got to go because there's something in front of me that I'm working towards. And all of us are. It could be within our family. It could be our personal self, personal development. It could be buying that house or moving to that city or state or accomplishing something that no one knows but you. I got to get it. And I have shared this message where I say the vision or the dream is the blueprint. If you keep having a dream about something or a vision of something, that's not just for nothing. That's the blueprint. It's time for you to bring it into this reality. Hello, the heavenly anomaly. Yes. The strawberries are in full effect. It's for you to bring it into this reality, regardless of what it takes. There may be tears, there may be discomfort, there may just be that space of I can feel it coming and I don't know what it is, but it's for me. It's for me. And I feel encouraged in this day to encourage you. Yesterday, I shared the message of how I had to rebuild after I was kicked out of a country. Thank you. I do too. I practice it. I practice my voice. When I was refused entry and refused from entering a country for a year, and I was on my sister's couch and I had to figure it out. It doesn't matter what's happened. Figure it out. And I have to remind myself of those times. I got to remind myself of those times. I've rebuilt myself several times. And every time I do, there's something that is birthed in me. There's something that I'm learning within myself. There's an armor that's formed around me because I can look back and say, wow, you did it. You did it again. And it's not about the amount of time that it takes, because for me, the goal is just for it to be accomplished. I'm not worried about how long it takes, because if I'm discouraged with the time that it takes, I'll always be discouraged. It's never going to happen in my timeline. There are things that will come up. There are things that I'll have to learn. There are things that I'll have to let go of. Yes, it's always an upgrade. There's a learning curve. That's a part of it. But it may just be because you have to grow into that new space. I'm reminded of a fellow speaker, and his name will come to me, who was a part of my Toastmasters group in Honolulu, where I was the president of the club. And the president's role came to me within 2 months. I joined the club, and then I think within 90 to 60 days, one of the members said, Hope, you're the fit for the president. The president isn't able to fulfill their duties. We want you to lead. We need your voice. I'm not going to take no for an answer. So I just had to step up and learn on the fly. That's where I'm at now. And I had shared this with my sister because I tell her I'm pitching, I'm sending emails every day, and I have to get used to some of the no's. But with the no's, there's always yeses. There's always a yes. So whenever there's a no, I just think, well, what's the duality? If there's a no, there's a yes. And today there was another yes. And the other day when I was on live, the email came in with another yes. and me learning on the fly, even how to do this thing that I see in my head. I just got to learn in real time. And that's a part of it. That's a part of it. If this is what I want to do, I will make it happen in my own way. But I'm not going to allow me not knowing how to do it prevent it from being mine. I'm a tough cookie. If I see what I want, I will build it in my own way. And the beauty of that is we can do this in anything we reach our hand to do. A lot of it is learning on the fly, but guess what? Once you learn it, you already have the lesson. So you can build upon that. You can share that with others. You can look at yourself and say, wow, look what I learned. Look how I just adapted to that. And that's a beauty in this evolution. I received another email today that made me smile because I said, whoa, I just had this idea and I threw it out there and someone saw the idea and said yes. But if I would have stayed in the space of, I don't know, I haven't done it before, I don't know if they'll want me, that wouldn't get me to the yes. And it's all about the yes. Getting to the yes may be uncomfortable, but so what? So what? Les Brown says, if it's hard, then do it hard. I don't really care what it takes to get to the yes. It's the fact that the yes came back to me. So I will just continue getting to the yes. And sometimes the yes is saying yes to myself. Yeah, you're deserving of this. Yes, expand your vision. Yes, it can always be bigger than what you dreamed. But I'm not going to turn down what's for me just because I'm uncomfortable. I will always keep going. I will always keep going. And the speaker that reached out to me when I became the president of the club, he said, Hope, you are a gifted speaker. But the problem is, thank you. Yes, that expectation of success is valid and important. Yeah, you got to expect it. I don't walk this path thinking that it's never going to work. If that is the case, then I would stop. Why would I expect it not to be for me and for it not to work? That already is setting myself up for nothing. And that's a part of it, just saying, hey, I'm going to expect that this is working out. I'm going to expect that I'm learning in the process. I'm going to expect success on my terms. And only on my terms. And when that fellow Toastmaster said, Hope, you are a gifted speaker. You do have the presence. You do know how to use the pauses. You have everything it takes. And that's the problem. I said, what? He said, yeah, the problem is you're actually far advanced than most other speakers. So you will assume that you will just get it immediately. And there's still plenty of things you have to learn because it's still a business and you still have to perfect your craft. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. And he was right. He was absolutely right. And that's a part of it too. Being open to even feedback. So often we just don't want to hear constructive feedback. Now, if the feedback's not constructive, then maybe it's not for me. However, my mother says all feedback can be constructive in some way. I don't necessarily think that that's true. However, yes, it can be. I can learn to extract what's for me and leave the rest. I am not going to allow someone's feedback to take away from everything that I have built and building and what I believe about me. If it's truly not for me, I'll disregard it. It's that easy. Otherwise, just get to it. Just start. Just allow it to blossom. Thank you, Chris, for the rose. And Tammy, thank you. And this doesn't just have to be in any business endeavor. This could just be within personal development. If there's something you have to work on, if it's I'm always late to obligations, or I'm afraid to speak up and tell people, hey, I don't like when you treat me that way. That is a valid goal to work towards. And we can always set these subtle goals for ourselves, within our interpersonal relationships, or within ourselves, or within something that seems so grand that it's untouchable. But my belief is the fact that I can see it in my brain means that it's for me. That means nothing. Just because I don't have it now doesn't mean it's not there for me. And I had shared, unfortunately, a lot of these art galleries are gone, but there were several art galleries in Lahaina, in Maui, that I would go to. And I would speak to the owners of the galleries, and I would go and speak to them about the art. And they would bring me into the private rooms and bring me the paintings and set it up with the different lighting. And I would say, how much is this? And they would say, oh, it's 87,000 framed. And I would say, okay, so what's the best deal that you could give me? What about if I paid for it cash without a credit card? It didn't matter if I didn't have the physical money then. I wanted to practice and feel what that felt like to say, yeah, how much, instead of 87,000, can we do 77 grand out the door? How about that? What is the best deal that you can give me that won't alter your commission? Because most people won't even ask for the price, let alone go in and look at something that they feel is completely out of their financial boundaries. That changes it. I want to feel that. Just because I don't currently have it doesn't mean I won't ever. It doesn't mean that. And I'm not going to tell myself I could never have that. Why not? It's there. That means I can have it. I don't know. Maybe I need to grow into a new space. Maybe I need to be able to get a good deal. I don't know. But it's able for me to have. I will never allow money to prevent me from saying that that is for me. And I still do the same thing with jewelry. I love rubies. I love colored stones. And I would go into these jewelers and say, oh, I would like to look at this. And I would put on the jewelry and I would wear the jewelry around the store and I would get to know the salespeople and I would visit them once a month. So they knew, oh yeah, this is Hope. Hope, this is a new thing we got in. Oh, look at this piece. This piece is $127,000. Wow. Do you know what it feels like to have those conversations? Because again, money will stop you from even wanting to be in that space. Just because you don't have it doesn't mean you won't ever. Feel what it feels like. Put on the jewelry. And we love a colored stone. A diamond is great, but I love a ruby. And then I started learning about these gemstones and learning, where do the finest gemstones come from? And what's the name of the different emeralds? And what's the name of the different sapphires? And how can I tell the clarity of a diamond? And how just having these conversations allowed me to feel a comfort with having that conversation, regardless of if I had that amount or not. Because for me, it's preparing for it. I mean, you may see me step in with some ruby encrusted strawberries. Thank you, Tammy, for sharing the live with more than 10 people twice. That's uplifting to me. Thank you for getting the live up to already over 7,000 likes. And we aren't even an hour in. But it's these subtle challenges and really getting past that place of discomfort. Getting that past that place of discomfort. Because money will often bring out all of that discomfort. Thank you, the heavenly anomaly. I am healthy, wealthy, and wise, okay? This is why I show up suited and booted every day. Because why not? Why not? If there's an aspiration for something bigger, you have to leave certain things behind to grow into that new space. You will. And when I speak of discomfort, it's not always discomfort. It's just an unfamiliarity with that new space. And with every step, there's an increased amount of comfort. With every step, there's an increased amount of awareness of oneself. And this is why there was someone earlier who asked why I was single. I've never actually spoken about any of my relationship status, but there was even thinking behind that when I purchased my car. Now, I do always love an electric vehicle, and I am big with sustainability. But I remember going in to purchase my vehicle and feeling a bit of resistance. Just because, number one, I had never purchased a vehicle. I had only had vehicles purchased from my parents and given to me. And so that was the first step. This is a big thing that I'm doing for myself. And then it's a luxury vehicle. And there is a bit of resistance. It's what I love. It's what I like. What's up? What's up, paper chaser? You getting that paper? You about to go back to your 12, 16, 18-hour shift? I'm glad to see you. And the ease of the transaction of when I bought the car. But even thinking, especially if you're a single woman, if I ever have to get my car serviced, and I had purchased a BMW i3, who's going to be in the service station at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday? And this could be with any car, but putting yourself in certain spaces. And also just the accomplishment of that, because I would often have people say, wow, I would never spend that much on a car. You don't even know how much I spent on the car. And my whole thinking with buying that first electric vehicle was, I want to invest in an electric vehicle so I can see how this works. And especially with cars, because my father owned a dealership, I know how quickly the price falls. So brand new, the car was over $60,000. But when I bought it, it was 4 years old, and it was the second model year. It was the second year of production for this car, the BMW i3. So did I spend $60,000? No, I spent $15,500. There's a big difference. But then you're in that circle. Because I even saw how people look at you differently just because you possess these items. It doesn't say anything else about me. It's just the car that I wanted to experience what it felt like to have an electronic vehicle. It's a different way of having a vehicle. Hey, Peso, we're not going to have that. If you're going to bark, you got to go. Hey. Peso. Thank you for protecting me, but this is my time to speak. So, how long did it take to charge? Well, I never let my car get down to zero. Well, I did. And I shared that story when the car ran out of energy in front of the airport. And that was a quite endearing effort. However, my car took, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 hours, maybe 6 hours. I don't know. I never let it fall to zero. So, and here's the other thing. I was unaware that there were so many charge points around where I was living. I bought the car without even thinking about charging it. And I didn't have a charging port at my home, but within a 10-minute walking radius, I had a total of about 12 charging stations. So when I would do my sexy walks in the morning, I would take my car and plug it in and do my sexy walk home, clean, do whatever I needed to do, and then go back and charge the car. That is, there are no firm responses to that, because with electric cars, especially the car that I had, it changes in the moment. It depends if you're on flat ground or if you're going uphill or if you're going downhill. It changes in the direction of the wind. So it's not like how long you can drive, because it may say 60 miles, but you could actually drive at 78 miles. And what do you mean, Dr. Dan? I don't know what you're speaking of. So it didn't matter. I also was on an island. So the amount of miles you would drive in somewhere like Houston or LA or the Chicagoland area is wide and far and flat. Hawaii is quite small. It's quite small. You're lucky if you're in your car for more than 20 minutes, at least for me, because I live very central. So I did not use many miles. And I loved it. You never have to go for gas. Then also incorporate the thought process of how much you spend on fuel and not spending that for X amount of years. Yes. And also, my father did teach me how to change the oil in my car, or he would often do it or take it to the service station. I don't care to do all of that. So that's something that I loved about my electric car. There were no systems that I needed to take care of. I didn't need to change the oil or change the transmission fluid or change. The only fluid I needed to top up was the windshield wiper fluid. So it was also ease for me. Yes, I'm not letting anything run out of power ever again. Now, the great thing is, I learned tools to regenerate power. However, it only happened once. But because it was the second year of the production of this car, and the i3 is a small hatchback car, I like cars that are relatively small. It's just me. I love BMW engineering. No, LA is not hot to me. LA is cold, especially in the morning. And if you're speaking of central LA, if you're speaking of like Pasadena or Altadena or somewhere in the Inland Empire, no, LA's not hot to me because you're also near to the water. But LA is not warm until midday typically, and I only know this because a lot of time was spent there in my early years because my father is from LA. So I had my whole father's side in LA, and I would spend summers and holidays there. And then with friends, we would drive down there to party and go to performances. Yeah, love BMW engineering. I love German engineering and Japanese engineering. And furthermore, just the innovations with BMW i, which is the electronic side of BMW engineering. And I shared with you when there was an issue that came up with my car, I found the service to go beyond what I would expect. But that was also me. And I shared this story. I had something that came up with the battery in my BMW i3. And I took it to the dealership, and they said, hey, this fix is going to be upwards of I think $11,000. I said, okay, well, what can you do for me? There's nothing more we can do. There's always something you can do. There's always something. And here's my other thing. If you can't do anything, I'm talking to the wrong person. I just need to get to the person I need to talk to. So, dealership said this fix is going to be X amount or you can sell the car. I said, well, it's just okay. Let me actually go to BMW corporate. Because my father was a letter writer. He would always write letters with his mileage plus number or whatever number for the hotel or whatever it was that he was directing it to. So I contacted corporate and said, here's what's going on. The dealership told me this. What can you do? Within 24 hours, not only did I receive a phone call, I received an email. And they said, Hope, we apologize that the dealership could not aid you in the way that we are going to be able to aid you. And because of this, we're going to eat 80% of that fixed cost. And you can pick whatever car you would like to use as a loaner while the new battery is being rebuilt or engine, something like that. I said, wow. Not only did they help me, it's because I helped myself. I'm not going to stop at the first person that says there's nothing I can do. You aren't the one I should be talking to then. Who do I need to talk to? I'll keep going up the ladder. That's it. That's it. And yes, it comes down to what am I trying to get accomplished? Oh, okay. Well, no. See, it's not that it's hot. It's more so that it is, it's a lot more humid on the island, but there's a breeze. It's a completely different variation of weather. It's a different variation. And just a minute, I'm going to put you on pause for just a moment. Meg, what's up? What's up? What's up, Meg? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please continue to share and like the live. So, it's not in stereo, on stereo. I don't know what that means. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyone else, Mag? How do I sound on the live? Paper Chaser, how do I sound on the live? Please, I just want to double check to ensure, because if that is the case, I will seek to fix that. However, if it's fine, I'm just going to keep talking. Again, with this issue, and I never will say my car is being fixed or it's broken. I will say it's being loved on. I'm intentional about my words. You know, I'm intentional. And it came down to, what is it that I'm seeking to accomplish? Because if you can't get me to what I need to have accomplished, I just need to find where I need to go. That's it. So that's a little something with the electric car and the ability to just keep doing the work until you get the outcome that you want. I wasn't going to settle for what they were telling me. I know there's something else, someone else, another avenue that I could take. So I will continue to work towards that avenue so I can have that thing accomplished that I want to have accomplished. That's it. And Even that moment of driving this. Thank you, Paper Chaser. Sometimes people jump into the live to. Anyway, we're gonna move past that. So I shared that story to share with you that I will always work towards my perfect ending. Someone else, I never. What you clarify that the heavenly anomaly? Please clarify. Give me more of a picture, and then I can answer that better because I know what's for me and I trust myself. However, usually what's not for me shows itself pretty quickly, or it is taken away from me. So just clarify, and I'd be happy to speak about that more. So in that, and what was I going to say? Even driving that car was like, whoa, you did it. There was a point where I thought, I didn't even think that this would ever happen. And this was years ago when the car had first debuted. And then years later, while I was driving it, it was me seeing myself and saying, see, it's not about the time. Sometimes we even trip ourselves up with this whole thing called time. I want it now. It should have came now. I thought it was good. You don't, that's not up to you. It may be something bigger than you. There may be something you still have to learn or grow into or let go of. Because again, I believe what's for me will be for me and will always happen. It's not always about my timeline. Maybe there's just something in me that has to learn or be birthed or grow into. But when I can. And sometimes, here's the other thing, the heavenly anomaly. At times, it's not even that goal. Sometimes you reach that goal just to see, oh, this wasn't it. It was just the transitions I had to make. Or, oh, I accomplished this and it wasn't what I thought. Okay, I can change that. Or, okay, now that I have it, now that I felt that celebration, and now the celebration has ended, now what? It's all a part of it. That's why I do believe in working towards something, because oftentimes you get it and then you say, oh, okay. It's like with that car, with my BMW i3, it was great. Within a year, I was like, okay, I'm over this. What's the next car? I love this car, but I will love the next one. It's always how we see it before it's achieved. Once it's achieved, it usually shifts. It usually shifts. And that's why I direct myself on the work towards it. Because the work towards it is actually the gift. Yeah, and it's not even underwhelming. It's just like, it's not what I thought at all. And I've heard people say, yeah, that's why you should never aspire towards money. Or maybe you should, to see that maybe it's not what you think, or maybe it is and you have to expand the amount, or maybe it is because you want to give back in some way. I don't know, but I'm going to get to a point to see what it means for me. I don't care what it is for you. For me, it's going to be something different. That's it. And the win is often just an uncovering of myself. Just an uncovering of myself. What did I think this was going to mean to me? What does it mean to me now? What am I going to do now? How did I learn from this? What did I grow out of this? How can I aid someone if they ask me how I came to this? So it's all of those. And that's the beauty of attaining something, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what it is. Especially material things. And I don't think anything that you aspire towards is bad. or negative. I don't say things are bad or good. That's more of a morality issue, which is based out of religion, which isn't my factor of seeing one thing in a positive or a negative vibe. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the direction. Even with me and this, yo, leave this alone. I'm talking to the dogs. Even with me speaking, my first live was a growing experience. And it is that. It's always going to be that. How I saw myself speaking and what it has developed into are two completely different things. However, I wouldn't have found that out if I didn't decide to dedicate myself to the path. The pursuit is exciting. The pursuit of getting up every day and consistently doing it. Because what no one sees is the boring part of it. And as I was reading in my book club, we last read Atomic Habits, there's the difference between the people that are the high achievers and the ones that give up. The high achievers know the monotony in it, the boring part of it, of doing it every day, 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 every day. I'm bored every day, every day. You just get used to it, but you know that there's an end. There's an end to it. That monotony is a part of it. When I show up every day, I have to get myself into a space to be able to deliver. That's a part of it. Sometimes there's all sorts of things going on, but it's like any performer, any entertainer. And I would say this to flight attendants. People don't care if you're tired as a flight attendant. They want you to have a smile, be courteous, and give them a drink. They don't want to hear, you know what, I got up late this morning and Mary was mean to me and I'm not working in the position I wanted to work in and I didn't want to work. No one cares about that. Show up and do it. And that's the hard part that sometimes individuals just don't want to do. Every day. Yeah, paper chaser, every day. Sometimes you're not even getting that return. And that's the beauty of one of my favorite performers, which is Beyonce. You can see the development of from when Destiny's Child and before until now. But no one saw that. No one saw when her dad made her run with the other girls singing the lyrics. No one saw that. No one saw them not go to prom or not do these things and travel. All they see is the concerts and the videos and the win. No one ever sees what really goes into it. And to me, that's what separates the two. Some people are all about that. I love the grittiness. I love the everyday grind. I love doing it, even if there's no return. Especially in the beginning, there may be no financial return if that's what you're looking for, if it's something business. It's not, but that's what separates me from someone else. I know what it takes. And the other secret is you can't outwork me. You can't. You can't. You will never hear me say it's hot outside. I'm not going to do it. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I'm not going to go. The weather report. I don't care about the weather report. If I said I'm going to this thing, I'm going whether the weather is good or not. I'm not letting something as small as that stop me from what I want to do. Thank you, the heavenly anomaly. That's why I show up. And I do believe this is a gift that's something bigger than me. Because I didn't know that you needed to hear this. I am just speaking my life in this present day. When I said I'm going to speak and I want to do this and that, I got to hear my voice. I have to know my cadence. I have to know how to speak. I have to know my voice. I knew this from way back when I had to train on the phones with my dad, and he would make us listen to our voice and how uncomfortable it is to hear your voice, especially if you're a speaker or a singer or anything. To hear your own voice, it's not always the best sound, but it's a part of it. How am I supposed to know how I can improve unless I don't know how others hear me? Because I only hear me from being in my body. I don't know how someone over a microphone hears me. I don't know that. I have to take that extra step. I have to get comfortable with the discomfort. If I want to take it up a step, I'm going to have to invest in the equipment. And I want the best. So if it's recording equipment or a lighting or a microphone, I'm going to buy it before anyone even knows that Hope is speaking. And I shared, I think I brought this microphone like 3 years ago. At least 2 years ago, I had bought it before preparing. I had bought lighting before preparing. I had bought a green screen. I had bought all of these things before just to get comfortable, just to get ready. And the showing up part, as I said, that separates people because it will take time. I could be the biggest TED speaker that's ever graced the stage. To me, I believe I'm that now, but no one's going to know until other people say, yeah, she did it. So in my mind, I'm already that. But people don't know until other people say, oh, this is good. I like that. Doesn't matter. I got to believe it first. That means I have to act this out day after day after day after day. When I go for my sexy walks or laps in the pool or marathon running or riding my bike or walking with the dogs or rollerblading, no, I do that every day. I don't do it and take a picture of it. I'm doing it day after day after day after day. That cumulative effort. Exactly. I love that paper chaser. No one can ever outwork me. And that feeling of being debt free is like, whew, it's a beautiful feeling. It's both. Debt can be used for a positive way as well. However, that's a beautiful thing. And sometimes it's just for the moment. Maybe I got to put this work in for these first 5, 6, 10 years. And then all that work I put in starts to reap. But you do have to put the work in. And I won't even say you got to work hard. I'm not about that. I make it work for me. And I'm so used to putting in that concentrated, deliberate effort daily that it doesn't feel like hard work. It just feels like, well, this is what I do every day. There's times where I miss speaking. And if I go too long without speaking, the moment I start speaking again, I have to find my bearings. But if you're continuously putting in that deliberate, concentrated effort, it will show. You just have to continue. You have to continue. Because many will say this isn't for me, and that's okay. I've done that many times. Nah, this ain't for me, dog. Yo, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. There's things that I've put my hand to where I said, yeah, this ain't for me. I don't care about doing this no more. I think there's a beauty in leaving what's not for you, including a relationship, Mag. But knowing yourself, know thyself. I know when it's not for me. There was a time when I lived in London and I was a hot girl on the scene. And many of my friends were quite beautiful women from all over the world. Some of them were models, some of them just beautiful women. And I speak about my father often because I've always had a dedicated father that has always been in my life. And my parents are still married and all of that. However, I saw this element of like, wow, these women are like, they have all of these very wealthy men around them getting all of these things. This is really cool. Now, here's the other side. I've had, I never wanted for anything. I was always abundantly rich in love and things. And I also knew the work that it took to acquire things. However, because my dad is similar to Paper Chaser, he will keep at it until he gets it. I never aspired to like have things from expensive things from a man. But at this time, I said, wow, this looks kind of cool. All of these beautiful, expensive gifts that these women are getting. And when I would be around them, I would see how the element of themselves would have to change when they were around certain people, and how they willingly changed themselves for the exchange of financial gain. And because I would be around my father's business partners and my dad would go play golf, I already knew about all this because I was a child of that. I did not have to aspire for that. I knew that game. I just hadn't seen it in this way. So I remember seeing it almost as a voyeur and thinking that's what I wanted. And then seeing like, I'm not changing myself for financial gain. And the amount that is being gained ain't that much. That amount won't change my life. That won't change my life. So you mean I have to change myself? I have to put myself in discomfort, change elements of how I talk, how I show up, to gain something from these people that I don't actually really like? Nah, that's a no for me, dog. That's a no. However, as I was around these beautiful individuals longer, I saw that it really came from a space of hurt. Because these young women didn't have the experience with their father like I did. And so this exchange was more of an exchange of, I'm going to get everything I can get out of you as a wealthy man, because the man that birthed me did not show me the same type of loyalty, love, and respect. So any man who's in my space is going to pay. And I grew in gratitude for both of my parents. I grew in gratitude for the integrity that I relentlessly would not let go of. And I grew a space of compassion for understanding where that element was coming from. And I remember, I also know, like, I have it within me to create that for myself. But again, this is me. If you don't believe that you can create it, then you're not going to believe that it can be created. You will believe that it can only be taken from someone else or given to you by someone else. Because in the world of wealth, wealth can only be inherited, created, or married into. That immense wealth. And to me, immense wealth is anything over 100 million. I'm intentional about this. Anything under that is rich, but immense wealth to me is over 100 million, because that will change generations of family. So, wealth can only be inherited, created, or married into. For me, I will create it, and I will create it doing something I love, being me, filled with integrity, filled with willingly showing how I got it. And I'm already wealthy in love and spirit. Financial abundance is always there. Sometimes it's just finding what's in you to connect. And I'm grateful that I was able to experience this, because it's not judging and saying these young women are wrong. They saw something and they found a way to get it. And I'm all for however you get it is how you get it. I don't put a cap or judge others on how they get to it. That's not for me to judge. I don't know what led you to that exact moment. So through that, I said, yeah, I'm glad I got to see that, because that's not for me. And it's not about judgment. It's about empowerment. It's about me seeing something outside of myself and saying, that's not the route that I choose to take. It looks beautiful, but I can see the brokenness and the tears that would be shed when these beautiful beings weren't around these individuals. And what that looks like. Because money doesn't repair that. Money may cover it. Money may be the shelter that no one sees that hurt. And that's a lesson in itself as well. And all of these things that I share is purely because it got me to this moment. Especially accepting help from others, because I've often been the one that is there to help. So for me to say, I will accept that help. I will accept the hand. I will accept the space. I will accept the encouragement. That's the space I'm learning to adapt into. And it's all a part of the dream, the goal, the aspirations. And even speaking of these aspirations, saying them out loud instead of covering it up. No, I am extremely ambitious. My ambitions now are fueled by something for a greater good. And also, during the pandemic, I was in Hawaii. I was with myself a lot, and I had just moved back to the U.S. In 2015 full time. So I left in 2008. I came back in 2015. And it was interesting because I saw this country that I was born into in a completely different way. And I had shared in one of my other lives, my intention was never to move back to the U.S. And seeing the disconnect within human beings, seeing the sheer just judgment and separation between human beings created a space of discomfort within myself. It wasn't something I had ever seen. I said, I'm either going to have to run for president or do something to allow us to have a space to unite and feel some sort of human element of oneness. Because I'd never seen the country in a space where people just refuse to talk to each other. I mean, you're still a human, regardless of your views politically, or if your child crosses the street, I'm going to make sure, no matter what color, no matter what your political views are, no matter what your sexual orientation is, if you have a cousin or someone crossing the street, I'm going to ensure they cross the street. I'm not going to say, I'm only going to make sure if you, nah. To me, that's not pure love. And it sounds slightly Pollyanna-ish to be in a space of seeing a human as a human. As a human. Because I really, truly believe if one is not free, we're all not free. Everyone has something to fight for. Sure, I'm all for it. However, as humans, we gotta see each other as humans. For me. And less of, you're this color, you're this gender, you're this political party, or you're this socioeconomic background, or you eat this and I eat that. I don't care. I as a human being, you just deserve a space to engage. I want your child to be able to cross the street and me say, yo, go over to your mama's house. I'm going to make sure you cross the street and not get hit. That's what I ask for. Your beliefs are, we're always going to have different beliefs. For me to expect someone to always agree with me is the expectation of having a disagreement. In fact, I actually don't even care if you agree or not. I just want you to know, if as a human being, you can see me as a human and you can just respect me as a human. And I'm a good-looking human as well. However, however you show up in this life, I seek that you have your life and live it more abundantly. I don't know how you got to your opinion. In fact, it's not even for me to understand. But to see someone as a human being is to see myself in that person. And I've shared this. I truly strive to see myself in whoever I'm engaging with at that moment. You will speak differently to them. There may be more patience. There may be more empathy. And what that means. And as I started this live speaking of rebuilding, truly rebuilding when life crumbles, is to see yourself as a human. Sometimes things may look like they're not working out to us, but it's there to show you something about yourself. And to be in a space of giving yourself real compassion, giving yourself grace. This thing called life can be difficult. And to always say, I should have did this, why didn't I do that? You didn't know. Now you know. Now if you encounter that, you will show up differently. But truly being in that space. Truly being in a space of love for yourself. Truly being in a space of knowing, like, I'm doing it every day and I'm doing the best that I can. And who I was yesterday isn't who I am today. So you're meeting a different person. You're meeting a different person. When I shared on one of my lives earlier this week about some of the instances I've had on the plane, that allowed me to see the beautiful element of just the human experience. If I'm sharing time with a human being in front of me, that is the beauty. What can I learn about this? What can I learn through myself? What can I learn from this person? Because it's only that moment. Once that moment is gone, I don't even know if I'll have another chance to be with that person. And vice versa. I don't know if that person will have another moment to be with me. So to float in that space of true compassion, true love for myself, true grace, that element of grace for myself. If I can give myself grace, if I can give myself forgiveness, then I can give someone outside of me grace. And I can give someone outside of me forgiveness. Because how we see ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, that will show up in our relationship with others. I'm always inspired when I'm on my lives. These lives this week have been like some really life-changing lives. And through these lives, I'm truly discovering the power of the word, spoken word, the power in my voice, the power in community, the power in social media, the power in something as simple as Paper Chaser said, that chase, that grind, that daily concentrated effort, because we all know what our end goal is, but sometimes the journey is the goal. And we may water it down with, until I get to this point or this amount of money or this accomplishment. Hey, you did it today. You did it today. You deserve the trophy for the day. So keep going. Keep going. And every word that I'm sharing with everyone in the live is the same words I'm sharing to me. Because at times I think, why am I doing, what am I doing? So I'm encouraged to tell you and myself, we are doing it. We are showing up every day. We are putting the work in. We are doing it. And we're doing a great job. And I even feel encouraged when I'm about to go to sleep. I'm just exhausted because I've put out so much. I've done so much. My productivity is through the roof. And it feels good to say, whoa, I've had such a productive day. I'm really accomplishing in every moment. And even saying, you know what, it's time to have some rest. Because that's pivotal too. Burnout is not the goal. The goal is to listen to yourself and know, I need to slow down. And I'm going to slow down. So I will continue to rebuild. We will all continue to rebuild. And when life looks like it's crumbling, it's not. Exactly. Thank you, Paper Chaser. I love that. Sometimes it's just that things are falling apart to fall back together for something we can't see in that moment. And to not judge, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what whatever you label it, whether it's a spiritual practice or a religious practice or just a thought of good, positive vibrations and feelings, there's always things going on behind the scenes that we are unaware of. If we knew that maybe something was looking at us and saying, if Hope only knew, she's only 7 days away of that thing that she thinks is so far off. You never know how close you are. We're often closer than we know. And I'm encouraged by that. I'm encouraged in every moment. And maybe it's not even the practice. Maybe it's just the ability to learn what that looks like. Because if you're already in that thought of, I have to see if this person, no, you don't. To not judge is to just allow. I don't care how you show up. I'm just allowing you to show up. That's it. I'm allowing you to exist without casting my doubts and my fears and my judgment. You are just a human just like me. You can show up. I love who you are and who you aren't. But at most, it's a reflection of me. So, in a spirit of love, always continue to be the reflection of love. Thank you, Paper Chase. Listen, I'm going to make it do what it do, baby. Continue to be the reflection of love because we all come from an infinite source of love. We do. That saying is the saying that all we need is love. It sounds so simple. It's true. But what does that mean? That's up for every individual to find out. Continue to show up day in and day out, putting in the work, putting in the aspiration, putting in everything in you. And when you show up, always make it look good. And just be the best that you are in the moment, whatever that means. Because every moment it's different. Choose to be the best that you can be in that moment. Choose to leave something better than you found it. That's something I live by. Even if I go into a public restroom in like a restaurant, and if there's a lot of water on the sink, I'll take some paper towels and wipe it down. It becomes a pattern. With people too, and with yourself. Leave yourself better than you found yourself. Make yourself better in every moment, in whatever way that looks like. And I will continue to, because you're here witnessing the journey of hope. And I love you and I appreciate you, the hopefuls, especially Paper Chaser, everyone who comes in on a daily, gives me a word, gives me a like, gives me anything. You're fortifying my spirit, man. You really, really are. Because I'm in the trenches just like you. I'm aspiring just like you. I'm building just like you. And that's why I speak and that's why I show up every day. So let's just continue to build upon what we have. And we have a lot. Quit focusing on what you don't have. We have a lot. We have our health. We have our voice. We have the people we love. We have food. We have a lot. You do. Focus on that and watch it grow. I love you. I love you. I will see you tomorrow. I am going to speak again in the morning and then later in the day. So I'll see you when you come off your 24-hour shift, Paper Chaser. And come give me an encouraging word. I love that. 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 And I hope I fulfilled. In the meantime, make today great because there's greatness in the day that has yet to be realized. And come back tomorrow and tell me what it was. I love you. I'm out.